Okay, this is the 8th time I've tried to do this, so I'm not even gonna do anything special. Pull this card from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck for the millionth time today, and it's Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing. When I first looked at this, I was reminded of the online game where there's a round central object that is the target, but it also will have things affixed to it that are also targets on the target. And the object of this game is the wheel will be spinning, and you will have knives to throw, like darts or daggers, at this target. And you can click the icon, and you must have luck and right timing in order to know when to click so that the knife will fly and hit the intended target. And if you hit the targets, points for you. And I think if you clear all of the targets in these games, what's left is the central target figure, and even that can be chipped away for points. But this is not that. It just reminded me of it. It's something about it is a bit similar. This is actually way more. It's got like symbols. It kind of looks like there's a clock face on there. There's skulls. There's eyes. Not in head. The eyes are just. There's just an eye hanging out. It's not like in a face or anything. And then there's also, I mean, keeping in mind this is totally symbolic, there's also a bunch of things all around that kind of look like chicken feet. That's good luck, I just heard? Chicken feet are good luck. Okay. Are they supposed to still be attached to the chicken, though? Because these are not. Anyway, these cards have a lot of spirit energy, seems like, all the time. With the golden light and the white light. And here, the light is... kind of reminds me of... there's a sunglass shade called Smoke Tobacco. Kind of looks like that, especially in the more, where is my indicator? Can I just tell you why I call it the indicator? There it is. It's actually not my deal. It is from when I was in Catholic school, and the nuns used to have these pointers. They were sort of like a shortish pool cue. And it would have like this 4-prong thing inside of an opening for you to shove the chalk into, and the prongs would sort of grip the chalk, and then the nuns would be all standing 6 feet away with their indicator. That's who says it. And I don't know, like, why did you have to have it on a stick and be 3 feet away from the chalkboard? Like, you know, something wrong with your hand. And I'll tell you why they had this thing instead of just using their hands. Because along with a yardstick, the indicator, the pool cue thing, would basically be used to cane your thighs if you ended up in trouble, which happened a lot in Catholic school, man. And not just to me, like everybody, people were getting beatings all the time. That's just like, that was what they only seemed to know how to do. Like, there was certainly no talking of those people. Anyway, here's a sparkle of bright light, like a highlight. And so that's what I have to say about that for now. And I will read from the guidebook. Oh, actually, I guess I have more to say about the card. Because the luck and the right timing. I always try to figure out how this applies to the current situation where I live here in the U.S. And right now, voting and politicians are very much in the news. And court cases for some politicians. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about that pertains to this is when we vote, even if we vote for the person that we really want, we could end up being disappointed because should our person get elected, there are many reasons why they might not be able to fulfill their campaign promise. They themselves might never have intended to follow through, or they may get into office and find out that there are procedural things and colleagues that will want to prevent you from fulfilling some of your campaign promises because perhaps they don't agree with them, even though they were not the politician that was elected to fulfill them, and it's not really any of their deal. It just seems like, especially for the newer people coming in, especially if they're younger, the other people that have been there forever in many cases, and it's their time to get out of the way and let some new people come in and give the country what it actually wants instead of more of the status quo that many of us are trying to get at least partially away from. It's like we all seem to want what we want, and we don't have a whole lot of concern for everybody else, what they might get and need. And so this also reminded me of, this is a broader way of looking at it, but I have seen two wealthy people put themselves in front of cameras to complain about the poors. One guy in particular was just so offended that the poors are calling healthcare a right, and his thing was, it's not a right, you have to pay for it. And it's our system of currency, our monetary system is capitalism, but the lack of principles of capitalism have taken over people so that compassion, not only is it a dying thing or a sickly thing, there are active attempts to smush it down and discourage it in people, which is going to result in terrible business practices. I mean, people were already inclined to just be mean anyway, and this all but if something were enacted because of this guy's complaints and the other ones, because I'm sure it's more than just those two. God knows I've heard Mitt Romney saying what was really on his mind when he thought he wasn't being recorded. That was unfortunate. And so, yeah, this guy was all offended that we should want healthcare, and it's bro, you probably have marvelous healthcare. You have no idea what it's like to spend a whole life getting sick, and not going in until you had a bone sticking out or a cancer killing you. A lot of people wait almost their entire lives before getting in to see a doctor because of the expense. Even this guy seemed to feel like you should pay for it, which normally you go through an insurance company. Rare is the case where you just pay the hospital. You got to pay this middleman sort of organization with no medical training that wants to decide who needs what kind of care. And it's why is someone that has no medical training making this decision? They could choose wrong, and someone that needs to not be waiting around for care and go have some immediate care done doesn't end up getting it. Well, that's a crapshoot. So it just seems like that's a terrible reason to think that people shouldn't have a right to health care. And this guy's thing was like, it's only your right if you could pay for it. And people like me are kind of like, no, the capitalism doesn't matter at all. If you're gonna get sick, you're gonna get sick. Because you're rich, you may not get sick as bad or as early as someone else, but you never know. You could have a reversal of fortune. And so I just feel like there was no reason at all for this guy especially to come out and start saying these horrible things about people whose lives he's never lived, and he doesn't know what they're going through that day or their life or their parents as far as healthcare is concerned. It is a major deal if you're not super rich, and the effect of it, because it's costly and many people don't have insurance, or the insurance they have is not particularly helpful when it comes to big major medical problems that that require a lot of seeing doctors and hospitalization. So it's just kind of mean and harsh for these people to be like, well, I don't care. If they're not paying for it, then they don't deserve it and they're not going to get it. What is wrong with you? What if it was you? You could have that reversal of fortune, and all of the money that your family could have had for generations could suddenly be gone. You could lose everything. You could be down to birthday suit level poor and living out on the streets among the people that you likely derided for being homeless. As if people are doing it like it's some kind of holiday. People are so annoyed that they have to step around people that have to live outside, okay? This is a thing that people say over and over, and it's like the rich person not knowing about the poor person's life. And granted, I don't know a lot about being wealthy. I do know some rich people. I am related to some, so I have a glimpse into the life, but I don't know what it's like. I know what my life is like. And I don't think all parties take that into consideration very well or very often at all, and we should. But getting back to the rich person that is so hateful to the people in the bad circumstances, as if, they decided to do it for fun. They didn't. Is the ones that are all, they want to be there. They just want to sit around and take drugs and drink. You guys get such weird ideas. These people are not having a fun time. This is not leisurely camping or something for them. They are not getting enough water. They're not getting enough warmth. They're not getting the right kind of food. They don't have protections like walls and locks and roofs and all of those things that we take for granted, kind of. So for these wealthy guys to be out there being so nasty and picking on the poor, it's like, really? Do you not see how you look doing that, rich people? Terrible. Let me fill you in on that. You look terrible. But you could lose it all. You could lose it all. And so my thing is, why are you being so nasty and mean when you could lose it all? Like, poop attracts poop, let's put it that way. So if the more poop you are, the more poop you're gonna have in your life, and it may extend to the degree of a complete reversal of fortune, luck and right timing, and also right thinking and right feeling. Like, have a compassion. Can you kick that gene back into operation? It's needed. Not so much for you to give it to other people. I mean, obviously, yes, that, but also have some for yourself. do count your blessings, even if you take it for granted and you have like this fantastic life because you're wealthy or whatever. I don't even know like if that's true, because any walk of life you're gonna find people, no matter how great it looks from the outside, it's gonna be something other than how it looks, because we all present our best face in public or in front of people, you know, unless after you get to know someone, then it's different. But generally, that's how we are. I'm just saying, maybe just try to be nicer and helpful. Like, it's rewarding to be of service to someone else. You'll receive dividends, but not ones you can bank traditionally, but in ways that are, as far as I'm concerned, more valuable. Because, like a memory, not saying that that is particularly, or not saying that that's exactly the currency that I was speaking of a second ago, but it's just an example of a non-monetary, long-lasting, good gift. And it's a memory. Like, no one can take it away from you. You might take it away from yourself if you get old or sick or something, but who's gonna take that from you? How? And you know, money runs out, and what you buy with the money runs out, but that memory is not going anywhere, like I said, unless you get sick or it's otherwise, you know, removed by hand. Also, don't see how that would happen. So, did I read this one? Let me read this real quick. Fortune's Wheel. Luck and right timing. A turn of fortune. The fortune's wheel is a sign that luck has found the right timing in your life. You have the magic touch and everything turns to gold. There is nothing you can do wrong. You only need to hold what you desire at your attention, as your intention, and it becomes true. Ooh, magician energy. Do not waste this power on trifling things. Dream big, for surely this opportune moment will pass. Like that wheel that you throw the knives at, you gotta have luck and right timing, or that moment of opportunity for you to nail the target will pass on by until the next go round. Use the creative power of the fortune's wheel for the benefit of others. Now see, I didn't even talk about the wealthy person that had so many problems with the poors and their associate. I didn't even talk about them being of service to others. Like, I did say that it is rewarding to help others, and you know, because we don't know the details of each other's lives, if you wanted to use the power of the fortune's wheel for the benefit of others, you might actually go volunteer in person at a, I don't know, soup kitchen or something. There's lots of things to volunteer for people that need help financially. And like it says, the gifts will be returned to you tenfold if you use the fortune's wheel's power for the benefit of others. Use it only for your own gain, and you will be left impoverished with the bitter taste of squandered opportunity. There's that birthday suit, rock bottom, and you have a bitter taste in your mouth because you didn't have to have a bitter taste in your mouth in the first place and spit out bitter words. Could have been counting your blessings and, I don't know, video game talk, getting some luck coins, some power coins. But I mean, the bitter taste of squandered opportunity could be going from like the pampered, wealthy life where everyone does everything for you. And by the way, all of the everyone who does everything for you, if you're rich or even not rich, everyone does everything for you because they're doing it for everyone else too. It's not just for you, rich guy, unless it's your house or some expensive item, some designer item that you have, some status symbol. But you could use it. You could use it. You could lose it in a heartbeat, in a flash, and like generational wealth even. So if you don't compassion it up and start like counting your own blessings and being appreciative, all of that could go away, leaving you with the bitter taste of squandered opportunity, and all you had to do was be nice. Oh, wow. I mean, oh, I don't have it over here. I love it when what I'm saying also resonates with the card and rings true. Okay, that's not bad. Well, I really whacked it. That kind of hurt my ear. So finishing what the book has to say. Fortune's wheel comes unannounced. Notice the early signs, the coincidental encounters, and the seemingly magical and synchronous events that herald its arrival. That call, that email, that invitation, that chance encounter was no accident. They were all choreographed by fortune. Do not wait any longer. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Recall your boldest and noblest longing and invite it into your life. This invitation is all that's required. I feel like it took a turn at the end there. Like, that feels like unattached to everything else. The recalling your boldest and noblest longing and inviting it into your life, and the invitation being all that is required. That almost feels like a non sequitur. Where'd that part come from? It's probably something I missed. And so the other card I pulled was from the animal, or the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. I just want to say Wild Kingdom. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. But it's not that. And so the card I pulled from that deck is the Lion. And I was saying earlier, the card, I mean, the Lion itself, I guess it sort of invokes that shoot, I'm having a hard time even trying to find a word. There's something about the lion and its posture and its bearing and its carriage that, well, I mean, I would certainly respect it because, for one thing, they're awful big. They're very large. The teeth and the claws, I have a lot of respect for, and they're strong, and they're like a cat. They are cats. They're cats so much. These big cats that they also like to play with lasers. They like to play with little toys and chase them around. They like to go after butterflies and things. But they're also like these big scary beasts. People say that about domestic cats too. Like, they're like really afraid of them as if they're facing one of these. Must be some past life left over where cats ate your corpse or something. I mean, not that I would ever do it, but come on, you could punt a cat. Give me a break. Not one of these guys, though. This, I could respect, and like, I don't know if I want to be afraid of it because I don't want to be giving off those I'm food vibes, you know what I mean? So, what I noticed earlier about this picture was that there seems to be like sort of a rounded window frame situation happening, And then I also thought, wow, are those mini blinds? And there's a sunset going on out there. What is that all about? Is this lion, did they go into Nairobi glamour shots to take a nice profile pic? I don't know. I'm just having fun with it. But let me read you what it says about the lion. And let me find that page again for the millionth time. I'm going to know where it is real good by the time I'm done today. So, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guide book says about lion, patient, regal, a complete master. The lion is a master of the fire element and the living mascot of self-transformation. A lion personality dictates their life to personal and spiritual growth. Dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. The dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all but known intimately by few. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof, yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealth, and precise in their words and actions. They do not waste energy or resources. This card reminds us that self-mastery is available to all, no matter where our quest begins. When in balance, the epitome of peace and strength. When out of balance, withdrawn, too serious. To bring into balance, daily meditation and friendship. So I have some thoughts about the lion meditating. And I'll share something with you that, well, I just think it's funny. I don't know if anybody else will, but I will share it with you anyway. So, I don't know how familiar you might be with the way a lion pride operates, but there is a male and female at the top, mother and father, just like in any other family. And the difference is, although not so different from humans, the lioness goes out and hunts and brings home the wildebeest bacon, and the lion stays around their home territory with the young, with the litter. And they're not sitting in office desks or at stand-up desks. They're lions, they're animals, they're cats. They're laying around on the ground. But they're also keeping an eye on the young ones. They're keeping an eye and ear on the surroundings for their protection, and also his own, because the lions are also preyed upon by, yay, us humans. Well, not yay, but sarcastic yay. Am I doing on time here? Yeah, I'm almost done. So, what got me thinking about the meditation and the lion is that there's a lot of different ways to meditate, and the two main ones for me that I think of are active meditation and passive meditation. And for a lion, I feel like passive meditation would be lounging around with the kids and sort of socializing with the other lion men, male lions, also gigoloing. And their focus is on protection, so they may seem to be just lollygagging around, but since they are laying on the ground, they can sense the vibrations of whatever's coming near. So larger or smaller animals, prey, maybe not. They have their hearing, very sensitive. They have their eyesight. They have their sense of smell. So everything's clicked on, and maybe it's a lot of energy output, and the lion kind of has to lay down because it gets hot out there, I guess, in the lion country. And then there's passive meditation, which with a lion I thought would be more like stalking, because it's a lot like the other meditation where their eyes are open, senses are all like looking around and constantly checking. You will have the same thing with, I'm sorry, the passive meditation of an animal, a lion stalking. They're going to be focused forward, looking to where whatever they're stalking is, and they want to be quiet because they don't, if they're hunting, I mean, just because the lioness mostly does that doesn't mean the male lion cannot also hunt. Or, maybe they're stalking someone that's been stalking their site where the family is, looking to prey on the kids or any of them. So, they're focused on finding what's in front of them or seeing what's in front of them, watching for any threats to them or being noticed, because they're trying to be all stealth and stalk. And come on, I hate it when I forget what I was saying right in the middle. Oh yes, the stalking. And then, you can direct your focus forward, as much as you can spread it out and diffuse where your vision might serve you, but it also would have to be paying another level of attention to what was going on behind it, where no eyes in the back of the head, but again with the hearing and the ability to smell quite well, and then to feel like what's happening through the land itself. More things to pay attention to, but the thing that I'm thinking is that while it's stalking, it's not exactly like got a red siren on its head or a police light, a revolving red light on its head drawing attention to it. It's probably lying low in grass, below the level of the upper grass, blending in with its camouflage colors, and doing as little as possible to be visible. And I feel like that would be passive meditation for the beast. And it's, the lions, like I said, those gigolos are laying around, hanging out, walking around from one lion encampment to the next and hanging out. But they're in service to their family. They're in service to other lions, I would imagine, that, like I said, they would be hanging out with, because they would have a common predator, mainly us. But I believe that other animals do occasionally try to attack them. I don't know, maybe out of desperation for food or retaliation. I don't know what goes on in the lives of these animals either, nor do they really have a clue what goes on in mine. That's sort of a constant in life, something we should probably consider when we're getting all whacked out because someone's misunderstanding us. Maybe they just don't know what's happening with you. They haven't asked because maybe they don't really care that much, but it's not an uncommon thing for us humans to do, to make assumptions and just guess and not do the easiest thing in the world, like ask and just find out the right thing. But that's us. We're haphazard. So, in the lion's life, like with the possible predators at any time, hell, another lion pride could turn on them. There's just so many variables, and it's like life is a gamble. I think I covered everything I wanted to say about that. Thank you and good night.